boy. Hi. I got some noodles. I'm gonna be really obnoxious and eat them with chopsticks, even though I'm very bad at eating with chopsticks. And is anyone surprised I didn't eat lunch before I started this? These are still way too hot. It's just instant pho. Nothing fancy. I have little Bert over here. He's getting some tummy rubs. I don't know if you will be able to see any of this. Oh no. There we go. Look at this loaf. He's loving it. Hopefully the wind isn't too loud. Also, sorry if I just gave you motion sickness. This is one happy puppy. I'm just glad it's not raining for once today. It's not super cloudy. Oh, thanks. Yeah, he's very cute and he uses it to his advantage. He knows. Yeah, it's been like depressingly rainy. I normally don't mind the rain because it like quells my allergies and there's something like cozy about it. But the rain has been like so intense for so many days and off and on snow showers and stuff. I'm over it. It sounds like today and tomorrow are supposed to be pretty nice. And yeah, I've been in my sewing room all morning. I was cleaning and doing some like chores around the house. But then I've been working finally on the gathered skirt video. It's happening. I'm only on like the first phase, but it's getting done. It's gonna be up Friday, come hell or high water. I'm gonna finish it. Hello! I'm trying to eat my instant noodles, but they're hot. Yeah, I'm really excited to finally, the wind is knocking everything around, and sometimes there are tiny animals hidden in these bushes, so if I'm like constantly checking, that is why. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited to finally be doing the gathered skirt video for many reasons. Just to like finally have it done, because I've been wanting to do it for months and months and months, and actually probably years at this point. And I just want to have more gathered skirts in my closet, so making this will hopefully like snowball effect make me do even more of them. Because there's like a couple things I want to really perfect on this one, and hopefully the video I'm doing will display all of those. Who knows if that'll happen or not, because you know how projects go. When you think you have it down pat is when shit hits the fan, so just gonna try and do our best. This is gonna, I pick like the most embarrassing food to eat. Good morning. Good for you, Francesca, going to the farmer's market and then back to bed. Hell yeah. I was gonna make a beer. I was going to fix myself a glass of beer, but I just feel like drinking water and finishing my coffee right now. The sewing project I'm doing I need to be like fully focused. So I know the second I start drinking a beer, I'm going to lose track of what I'm trying to get done, and it's not going to be good for the sewing project I'm doing. Plenty of others I have no problem just kind of being more footloose and fancy free, but I really want it to be good and helpful, and there's a lot of information I want to get across. I'm making it sound much more difficult than it is. It's sewing a bunch of rectangles together, as are most things sewing wise. Ooh, I want an overall dress. That's on my list of things to do. Hi, Amber. For a second I read that as G-Mom. It was like, oh, am I the grandmother now? I love going to bed early. We're often asleep by like 8:30 or so. We also get up at 5. I don't get out of bed until like 6:30 or 7, but I'm awake from about 5. I've been trying not to just immediately go on my phone as soon as I'm awake, because I am one of those people that has a really bad habit of that. Oh, are you getting too hot in the sun? Here, let me cover you up. There you go. Bert's next to me, because of course he is. He's a little sun gremlin. Oh, he's standing on my feet. Just sit in the shade. Oh, you want my lunch? Mm-mm. Hi. Yeah, what time is it? It's a little afternoon here. Oh, we're almost at 12:30. Damn. Do you want to come sit in my lap? All right. The pup is demanding more attention. You can come sit on my lap. Oh, except I got the chair on the blanket. Everything's fine. Hi, sweet bean. We got a Bert. He's definitely not going to let me eat my lunch, but that's okay. It's worth it to get some snuggles until I get more hungry. Ooh, yeah, I have been taking naps, which I don't like taking naps because naps don't like me. Like, I always feel almost hungover after I take one. And it's not good, but then say I take a nap at like 4, from 4 to 5-ish. Not asleep the whole time, but anywhere from like half hour to 45 minutes in that time span. I feel like shit the rest of the night, but then I'm like, well, what else am I gonna be doing? Like, I have nowhere to be, so why not just feel a little crummy and sleep through part of the day? I have so much to be doing. It's not like it's out of boredom, but I think the like anxiety and honestly probably depression at this point that many people have, it just wears on you and takes all of your energy. So yeah, if I'm done my workday by that point and it's like the time of the day where we're not ready for dinner, or we're just kind of snacking and watching a show, then I've been opting for a nap most of the time. Plus, this dog has superpowers and like is really good at sucking you into a nap. It's like him resting next to your leg makes you tired. Oh, Bert does need a mermaid tail. Yeah, I'm like taking naps just to have a break from thinking about things. Where I haven't checked the news much today. That's probably why I'm in like a decent mood. I'm also, I really like Saturday mornings because it's when I get like all my cleaning and stuff done and just kind of like reset. I also like Mondays for the same reason. It's like a refresh. So yeah, and I got up early. I always feel better when I get up early on a Saturday, where it's nice to sleep in, and sometimes I do that. But then I'm like, oh, but I wasted like the best part of the weekend. Where, yeah, something about Saturday mornings, I just get a lot of shit done. Which is also why I'm really glad I started on the gathered skirt video this morning. Because I knew I'd be like at my most focused and like ready to take on the task of laying out all the math, and it's not complicated math, but it's just explaining where you need to be getting numbers from. It'll all be in the thing. Sorry if I'm talking about it a lot. I'm just excited to finally get going on it. Yeah, I very much understand that, Francesca. I just haven't been turning my phone on for like entire days sometimes. I feel like I watched a video this morning. It's hard to like only let myself go on certain things because like for the most part my YouTube feed is like pretty positive. You know, if people touch on what's going on, that's fine, and I'm okay with people venting about things going on, but once we get into the drama of it all, especially politically speaking, I just don't have it in me. I was on Facebook for all of 30 seconds and I saw some stuff about people in Michigan pulling some shit at the State House and was like, nope, I'm done for the day, goodbye. So I just will make a point to not go on Facebook other than like posting the link for this. Yeah, I'm probably just not gonna go on that website again today. I don't have the Facebook app either because I don't know how people handle notifications from that. I have few enough like followers and interactions on Twitter where if someone @replies me, I get a notification on my phone that that's happened, or if I get a DM on there or something. So that also helps keep me off of it. But yeah, I don't check that as much. And it's not like I'm getting updates every day. So, sorry, there are neighbors. I don't even know if they know I'm here, but yeah, I feel like Instagram's pretty safe as long as I don't go through stories. And I feel bad because there are some friends that like are more involved, and I feel guilty that I'm not more involved with some things, but that's their whole like story feed, and I just don't check it because I don't have the brain power. Hey. They're allowed to walk over there, bud. Oh my goodness, that startled the shit out of me. He's so ferocious. Look at him. Oh my god. I can only imagine what my reaction was to that. I hate when I get a phone and there's like preloaded shit on there that you cannot remove. Like, I think every phone I've had has had some like NFL stuff on it, and I super don't need football updates in any capacity ever. I don't care. And the fact that I can't delete it, I can like deactivate it, but it's still taking up space on my phone. This phone has plenty of room, so it's not an issue, but past phones I've like not had enough space for other things. And shit like that is taking up room, and it makes me very mad. Did you scare them off? He's so funny. He's never yelled at people like that. He yells at people sometimes, but not like when we're just sitting in the yard. Yeah, I talked to like 10 people on Twitter, and if I go to their specific feeds like yours, and don't just aimlessly scroll, it's not too bad of an experience. But I feel bad because my reaction when I'm too overwhelmed is just to like hide from all of it. This is exactly what happened after the 2016 election too. I just like shut down. Where like the first couple weeks I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna call all these people. We're gonna put, help do protests and rallies and stuff. And then like I shut down, and now I don't look at any of it. And I feel almost like weak taking an ignorance is bliss route, but like I genuinely cannot handle more information about this right now. Like my brain just can't process it. And after going through this a couple of years ago, I'm recognizing it quicker this time and being like, oh, okay, that's why I feel like this. Let's step away a little sooner. Plus, like with this, there's nothing I can do other than take the safety precautions I've been taking. But like the people going to the state houses, I'm not going to stop them from protesting and being upset about it. There's not a rational conversation to be had, so why bother? I hear chipmunks. I don't see them though. I saw a baby bunny jump out of these bushes yesterday, and I almost started crying because it was so cute. Hi, Carrie. Yeah, I feel like it's mostly for the sake of like the local breweries and the community involved with them, that I like to have my Facebook open because a lot of stuff happens through there, as far as their events. Although during current situations, it's not like there's events going on, so there's not as much to keep up with. But there's only a couple people that I'm only friends with through Facebook, and I do like to check in on them. But again, I do the same thing as I do on Twitter, is I don't tend to scroll through. I like go to specific pages. Same thing with some of the groups I'm in, is like I'll check the first couple posts when I log into Facebook just to see whatever. And again, I don't have the app on my phone, so I'm not getting any push notifications. I only see it when I'm like seeking it out. Although it is definitely compulsive. I find myself like going Twitter, Instagram, what's another one? YouTube's a little different, but I'll like rotate through checking my email, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll like close the Twitter app, open Instagram, close that, go to Facebook, all within like 30 seconds of each other, and like start the rotation again. And it's like nothing has happened in the past 30 seconds. Why am I clicking back to it? There's nothing has happened. It's just out of habit. And also when I notice that, that's when I'm like, maybe I need to not be on my phone for a couple hours. And then I'll just put some music on. That's when I'll like stress cook or just hole up in my sewing room. Like I said, I wasn't really on my phone most of the morning because I was working on that project. And I have multiple more hours to do. Maybe later today. It may turn into like tomorrow and or Monday. We'll see. I have a bunch of like potential video hangouts with other people throughout the weekend, but I'm not sure when they're gonna happen or if they're definitely gonna happen or not. So let the rest of the weekend take me where it will. Yeah, I've done that where I've like, basically checked Twitter on my laptop and my phone. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I have been making a point to watch a lot of like what I view as more productive videos, on YouTube. So like anything sewing related, even if it's not a tutorial and it's just someone working through a project, like Rachel Maxey's videos, the one she posted yesterday, I was like, oh, this is the kind of thing I needed to watch. Because that helps motivate me too. And then cooking videos. I've been watching a lot of Bon Appetit. Bon Appetit? I don't know. Which has also led to me cooking more and like enjoying the cooking, because I'm like, oh, I get to test this technique I saw. Oh, you're eating the dirt. You're not just settling into your blanket. Hold on. Let's get you. Oh my God, you're making such a mess. Little guy. What a menace. Yeah, I don't think I made any masks this week. I did tell my brother and my best friend I would make them some, and I haven't done that yet. Where that's, like, I gotta mail the one to my brother, and I don't know when I'm gonna get the other one to my best friend, but I think at some point this weekend she said she'd come get it at the mailbox, so I should probably make that. Although making just one, if I'm just making like one or two, I can get that done within an hour. That doesn't stress me out too much. Plus I think I have a lot of bias tape already made, so that cuts out like half of the time. But yeah, I needed a break from making them, where I think I'm finally going, because I haven't been getting any other orders for them this week. So I think I'm gonna start like posting, like make them ahead of time and then post them, possibly on my Etsy. I don't know that I want to deal with that, but we'll see. I got really good at making them, so I would like to do that. Really good at making them quickly and efficiently. So I feel like now that I'm at peak mask making performance, I want to list them, because I think cutting out the option of doing custom orders and just being like, you get what I have, I think that will keep my sanity. And then I can send stuff out right away. Where there's someone in town that's making making masks locally, but she's like 3 to 4 weeks out right now, which makes sense. But if I can just like have them done and offer them to people, it's just gonna stress me out less. Because the urgency with which I take care of custom orders, because if someone orders one, especially for something like this, they really want it sooner than later. So yeah, I would stress myself out too much. They said you were price gouging. I've seen some heinous prices for masks, but I'm sure whatever you had for a price. I had been charging, I think, $6 a piece. But then I actually broke down the time. And I'm using stuff I have in house, but calling it like $1 or $2 for materials. I started asking for $9 for people I don't know. Where like I've given away some to people as well that needed them, which I'm more than happy to do because I'm able to. But then if it's selling to like the public at large and not like my best friend's mom, that it needs to go to like standard, you know, pick an hourly price, hourly like working wage, which I don't have as some extreme thing. I just said it like, okay, we'll call it $15 an hour. It takes just over half an hour, including making and attaching the bias tape. That's honestly like a big chunk of the time, but it's part of the process. And then yeah, like I rounded up to $1 for materials, so that's how I got 9. And then I just had like flat rate shipping. But since I upped that price and have been telling a couple people that I don't necessarily know, it's like friends of friends, I haven't gotten any orders for them. So now I'm like, am I asking for too much by asking for 9? But that's like paying myself a living wage. Plus, I'm still gonna make some to donate. Where maybe I need to change the wording so it's like for each one you buy, you're like paying for another ticket made to get donated to medical professional or something. And I'll just make sure I'm keeping an actual tally rather than just making them when I have the time, like making sure I'm hitting a certain number. I don't know. This is why I haven't been posting them anywhere, because there's so much more involved than just like my friend that lives across the country being like, can I just donate $10 to you and you can send me and my partner some? Because that's fine with me, because I want to make sure they're safe also. That's actually a really good idea, Carrie, making and selling the bias tape. I don't think I make it neat enough to sell, but maybe. Oh yeah, and then including shipping. Most people were asking for like orders between 10 and 15 masks. It was pushing closer to like $5 through USPS. Because I go through them anyway, but I've been trying to make sure I go through them with everything going on with the post office not getting funding. What a shit show. But yeah, and then, you know, no one minded covering that because they were getting so many other ones anyway. Or they were picking up at the house. So I think it'll be, yeah, that sounds reasonable. Like, especially buying from someone who is hand making them, it's different than buying it at like a 7-Eleven or something. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Oh God, that's so many masks. I was supposed to make, like I was in talks with a car dealership and they wanted like 120 masks made. This is before I even really got it down pat. And they were like, well, if we provide material, that's when I was still charging $6 a piece because I didn't really know. And I had the idea to switch to bias tape, but I hadn't actually switched to bias tape yet. So I'm so glad it didn't work out at that cost it was going to be, because I would have been screwed. Even if they provided materials, unless they bought actually pre-made bias tape. I asked for $6 a piece. They're like, well, we're asking for a lot of masks though, so that's like an outrageous amount of money. We're like, can we cut that in half if we provide materials? And I was just like so desperate for the work. I was like, well, if you're providing the materials, I guess so. But then I started making the mask with the bias tape instead of the elastic. And holy shit, they're so time consuming. So I would have completely, like I would have made money, but at what cost? Like making 120 masks and they wanted it done in a matter of days. And like, I'm really glad it didn't work out. And they haven't reached out. It's been a couple weeks and they haven't reached out again. So I assume they got what they needed from someone else. But them also thinking like $3 a piece was a lot. Like I should have just said no when that happened, because no. Yeah, that makes sense. Giving them like a little bit of a discount for ordering so many, but yeah, 3. And that's reasonable. 3 to 4 weeks, that's a shitload of masks. I was just so like panicked for work, but then I started getting orders from friends and they were just like, just let us donate some money to you through Venmo or whatever and get this sorted out that way. So I was kept plenty busy for the first couple weeks, and I also had a harder mental week this past week, so I was really glad to not have to rush through anything. I had a busier work week at my part-time job as well, so I was glad to give myself a break. I cooked more like involved meals and just chilled a little more. Um, but things like it being my dad's birthday, he would have been 68. That took me down for like a whole day. I wasn't expecting that either. And I didn't even know what the date was until partway into the day, so that was also part of it. Yeah, just had a harder week. I feel like my closest circle of people had a harder week this week for some reason. It just seemed to feel like this isn't going to end anytime soon, and it was like the reality of that setting in a little more. Yeah, it takes a lot out of you. Yeah, I've been letting myself just enjoy the work, because when I try to force myself, if I'm working at home, I'll do it. Like if I'm working somewhere else, I'll just push through. If I'm working at home, if it's a mental thing, I gotta just give myself time. That's why I ended up doing the project I posted yesterday, which I'm still gonna use and I'm really glad to have done, and I'm genuinely excited. It was super fun to put together. I was actually surprised how like good it was. The little like thread snip necklace thing. I've already been using it this morning, so yeah, really cool. But that literally was like 5 minutes of constructing to put together, where I had intended to do the gathered skirt this past week and then realized like, oh no, this isn't gonna go well for anybody. But now that I gave myself the break and chilled out a little more, I am able to do a better job today working on it. So, yeah, gotta give yourself time. I still have so much material that I could be using for masks, so I'm not worried about running, especially because I'm making the bias tape. I'm not worried about running out for quite a while. Obviously at some point they're going to start looking a little more mismatched, but I mean, I've had enough to fit anybody's preferences so far. So yeah, it's going all right as far as that goes. Yeah, where every order I got, it was like they came to me with it. They're the only one, like a friend of mine started a group email where he like emailed me and was like, hey, if you want to mention it to these friends, and give your like mask pitch. And then I replied to that. That's the most like seeking out work I've done as far as the masks go, but otherwise it's just been people being like, hey, are you making these? Cool, I will take this many. Which made me feel really good, because that means I'm in people's heads as like, oh, she's the one that sews and can maybe make stuff. There's someone that reached out because they saw me at the farmer's market last summer, and it was a nightmare. I have to take a layer off because it is hot in the sun. Don't mind me. Just forever sweating. So much better. Now there's a breeze. Okay. Yeah. The farmer's market last year, there was a torrential downpour and like really, really intense thunderstorm where like stuff was blowing over. At the farmer's market, it was just a mess. So like obviously not that many people were out. Some people were, but not the crowd they usually get at the farmer's market. That meant a couple things I had got ruined, which was a bummer. But I did sell like a couple of earrings, and they didn't charge me anything to go to it. They're just like, every week we have a local artist just like come and use the space. So they had a rotation, like a schedule for everyone. So they let me be the artist one of the weeks, but it was, I still made a couple dollars, but for like so many hours of work and also like losing some product, not a lot. And it was it was something I didn't realize was an issue with something that like I thought could get wet and turned out could not get wet. So it was a blessing in disguise, because I figured out I needed to change how I made a certain thing where I wouldn't have figured that out otherwise. So that was helpful, but it was kind of, I was not in a great mood that day. But someone saw me there and asked, like, the woman that runs the Chamber of Commerce, and was like, hey, who was that artist this week? And she knows me. So they were able to find me on Facebook or emailed me or something, and got an order in. So it was worth it for that, and that's happened with a couple other people, like, locally that I don't know personally. So it's nice. It's like, okay, all the work I was doing last year, going to all these events, it was worth the networking time, even though I hate that part. But you gotta do it. Oh yeah, ugly fabric for the inside of the masks, 100%. So I've been doing cotton on the outside and flannel on the inside, and I do have some like oddball flannel pieces I've been putting in there. And yeah, it's been great. Oh, and that's right, you've been on vacation. Oh yeah, my phone's getting hot again. I forgot. I'm gonna put my shirt over the thing it's resting on. Okay. Oh God, the like self-pitching you have to do when you're trying to peddle your wares out at events is, I hate it so much. Oh, I hate it so much. Where I get excited when I get to like nerd out about, say I have a Adventure Zone painting and someone is like, oh my God, Adventure Zone, we can nerd out about it. That's great. But being like, well, if you buy that and this set of earrings, like they'll go so well together or whatever. I hate that part. Just, if you like my stuff and you have the money for it, please feel free to purchase it. Stop digging holes. This dude loves eating dirt. It's nice and cool too, because I put him in the shade, like under the table you guys are sitting on. Oh God, I hit a sriracha pocket. Oh shit. Oh, you're resting against the water. I'm gonna grab this. Oh, that did not mix in very well. God damn. Ugh. Okay. Ooh, it's getting windy. I hope it's not too loud. I always forget that like microphones pick up wind like crazy. But the sun is so nice. It's just been horrible weather every other day this week. Yesterday turned nice for like a little chunk of time, but it was sandwiched between like torrential downpour rain all day. Afternoon got a little nice, and then by the evening it was raining again. So again, I don't normally mind the rain too much. Like, it's gorgeous out today. I'm making myself sit outside, but I can feel myself getting congested from all the allergens. I fucking love spring, but I feel like shit pretty much the whole time. So I like the rainy days, but Fucking A. I do. I look even paler on here. I don't know. I got a little color last weekend. Yeah, I'm like all washed out. But I am very white. I had the littlest bit of red after my live stream last weekend. But by the time I woke up the next day, it was gone, and I was just a little bit darker than I had been. I do not burn like my sister does, because she literally like gets lobster red in blisters, where me and my brother have always like handled the sun better. I do not advocate not wearing sunscreen. I just can't bring myself to do it most of the time. If I know I'm going somewhere and we're going to be outside all day and someone else has it and is putting it on, basically if I'm on a trip with Grant from Crafting with Cocktails, and we're going to be outside for the day, and he hands it to me and helps me put it on, then I will wear it. Like when we went to the Harry Potter theme park, God, that was like, was that 6 years ago? No. Sometime in the past 5 years, I went to the Harry Potter theme park in California with him and Sama, and before we even got out of the car to walk into the park, he made us put sunblock on, which I appreciated because I probably would have gotten a sunburn that day, but I don't think of it. Oh, it's a little squirrel. Oh, it's a little baby squirrel though. I wish I could show it to you, but I can't, and he's gone. The baby animals are out this time of year, and I lose my shit every time. I don't know what my aversion is, but I've always been like that. But I've also only ever had maybe 2 or 3 like actual burns. I know I've gotten a little red plenty of times, and I know that's not good either. None of it is good. Again, I'm not advocating this, just being honest about it in case you're like, oh, you're getting a lot of sun, huh? I don't know. I don't know why I just like can't do it. I think the lotion I use has a little bit of SPF. Like most of the products I use have a little bit of SPF in it, but not a proper amount. Yeah, we drank butterbeer. Yeah, I don't like rewatching my videos except for ones where I'm like out with other people like that. So I'll go back and watch those and theirs, because I don't know if Sama did one, but Grant certainly had videos from that trip. Yeah, like Grant's really smart because he usually has like a fabric shawl, like a scarf, that'll cover a lot of him. And then he also usually has an umbrella, which is genius, but I never do it, and I feel bad. Hey! He was yelling at the neighbors earlier too.
Sweetheart, it is me.
Good boy.
Hello, sweetie. What a day. What a day.
He's getting a little too hot in the sun. Come here. There you go, bud. Good boy. Is Orange County in Southern California? Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was a fun costume to put together. Oh, oh no. No! Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, I've never done a Disney park. I don't know that I want to. The Harry Potter park was fun, but only for a small chunk of time anyway, and it was so crowded, so. Sorry, I'm catching up on comments. Oh, marathoning Star Wars sounds good. Oh, see, I assumed your anniversary was on Halloween, but just because you had a very Halloween-y wedding. Or is that a different anniversary? Hmm. This wind is getting bonkers. Of course you did 2 weddings. A separate Star Wars themed wedding? Oh, right, for May 4th. That makes sense. Unpicking velvet sounds difficult. I wouldn't want to do that. I haven't worked with velvet a ton, kind of on purpose. Crushed velvet isn't too bad. It's like working with a knit, at least the ones I've used, because it's really stretchy. Like the stuff they have at Joann's. I love that your weddings have been so DIY. It's so great. Oh yeah, the pin thing. Well, I've had bias tape makers forever because I bought myself a bunch of sewing notions when I didn't know what to do with a lot of them. But they were just like cheap and seemed like something I would probably need at some point. So that's why I have them. But yeah, I honestly think I like using the pins better. I find I do a neater job with the pins. Plus you can lay out as many sets as you want, just to keep things in place a little better. And they're more adjustable, so if you want slightly narrower or slightly wider, because the options I have are like a 1/4 inch and then a little wider than a 1/2 inch. And if you, yeah, need a different size, just use the pins. Hi, Alyssa. How are things going? I hope you're doing okay. Sorry you're still in the hospital. Oop. The wind is getting buck wild.
Seabird.
Well, good. I'm glad the pin thing is helpful. Yeah, I like trying to find ways that is accessible to everyone, because it's not like everyone's gonna go out and buy the actual metal bias tape makers. Plus, they're kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, just more adjustability. Everyone has pins. Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, these are fun, and they're not a lot of effort on my part. It gives me an excuse to stop working the shop for a bit and come hang out. Especially because it's been sunny. Bert's getting some sun. Ouch. Yeah, chatting with you certainly helps quell some of my anxieties. I was waiting for something to like fall into my soup bowl. What's up, little bean? Oh, he's just rotating. He's got to get an even cook from the sun. Hey, here's Bert for anyone that wasn't here at the beginning. Just chilling. He was getting his sun tummies earlier. It was real cute. I feel like a bee keeps hitting me in the head. I do have blue hair, so it probably thinks it's food. Just doing some like sick dance moves. Where you going, bud? If you shimmy this way, you won't be in the sun. There you go. There you go. He's still mad I'm not giving him my lunch, but it's full of hot sauce, so... Yeah, I know I keep talking about it, but I'm just very excited about the gathered skirt video. It's finally coming together. It's just one of those things, as has happened with, or as has been the case with many projects I've done this year. These are ones that I've been meaning to get to for a long time, and the excitement of like finally having it on my sewing table is very exciting. Hi, Coop.
Loves coming over here. Never let him over here. He just loves coming over here.
A lot of bird smells. Hi, Cooper. Bye, Cooper.
Gotta go close his door.
That dog loves Bert so much. He is. I keep trying to shimmy him into the shade because he's getting too hot. And yeah, exactly. He's a little hot dog. When it's nice out, if it's sunny and the ground is dry, like if there's no snow or it's not like super muddy, the second the sun hits him, he is tummy up because he needs belly rubs. It's really cute. My shoulder has been very painful this past week, so that's also why I've been trying to take more of a break. Is because my body is hurting. it's been raining just forever here, so I am certainly enjoying the sun while I can. I'm at the like 90% broth stage of my my noodle bowl. And my alarm went off, so I gotta take my pill that I almost forgot about. There it goes. Sorry, that's probably very loud. There we go. I'm still drinking the same coffee. Oh yeah, Velvet. I know I spaced out a lot of the time I've been chatting, but the only times I've used like crushed velvet, it's been for like really fun like fantasy capes, and it's just the perfect material for like a hobbit cloak, or a friend of mine used it for like a D&D campaign, like a magical wizard shawl. And it has a good weight, like it drapes really nice, and it just, I think because I associate it with all of these like fantasy themes, it just feels extra magical to me. So then the couple times I've used regular velvet, and like learning there's so much you can't do just because of the pile. It's night and day, because you can do, like, you got to keep an eye on the nap of the fabric when you're using crushed velvet, but it's nothing extreme. It's just like the light's gonna hit it differently if it's pointing in a different direction. So are you eating grass? This dog. Yeah, I just remember being like super frustrated with the regular velvet, just because the other stuff is much more difficult to use. Or because the crushed velvet, I find easy to use if you know how to use a stretch, which that's some of the first stuff I worked with. I don't know. I mean, I understand why. There's a lot of fear about doing stretch fabric if you haven't done it before, but just get used to zigzag stitches and sergers if you have a serger. I know that's a little more advanced, so just zigzag stitches. You'll be fine. Just play around with shit. Oh yeah, velvet's also super heavy, but it must be nice having like those must be really good curtains and like block out a lot of light if you need it. That's actually a good idea if I ever need to replace our blackout curtains, because they're so useful. Or even just lining the backside. But yeah, getting back to like the more involved projects, I feel so much more accomplished with the stuff I've already sewn this year and like working on this. There's something about those, I feel like bucket list project is giving them too, like putting them on too high of a, not pedestal, that's not the right word, but makes them seem more complicated than they are, where it's like, oh, just one day I'd like to get this done. Where I guess that's why I kept putting them off, is because they're a little more, not even complicated, but just involved. Well, hi to North Carolina. I went on a road trip to Asheville. Is that 2 years ago now? Oh, I still have footage from that I have not edited together. It's been a very long time. I should probably do that, since I can't do adventure vlogs other places currently. Oh, thanks for hanging out, Cheryl. And oh my god, the quilt you made for Matt is just like the greatest thing I've ever seen. I don't know how you did it, but it looks incredible. Oh, that is neat, seeing how y'all found me, like what project you were looking up or trying to find information on. That's nice. Bird is just finding more and more grass to eat. I am such a like thrifter and upcycler, where when I realized a lot of like fashion YouTube people were doing like calling them thrift flip, and that was like a big trending thing. I'm like, that's literally what I've been doing for a decade on this website. Come get some shade, bud. He keeps standing in the sun and is like, oh, it's hot. And then I'll pull him in the shade and he immediately sits down like, oh, okay, yeah, this is better. What a little dope. Oh, that's rad. Yay. I'm glad. I think that's why y'all are such a cool crew of people that, like, I would be so honored to hang out. Like, if we all lived in the same area and just lived on a compound together, I think it would be super fun. Because I have a teeny tiny channel, and you must have been looking for stuff I am also interested in to have found my channel. Like, I guess, yeah, there's like a very DIY approach to all the stuff I do. Oh, yeah, I am bad at signing off of things, huh? I'm trying so hard to finish my lunch. I've had this out here. Yeah, we've been going over an hour. Yeah, also, I mean, I recycle a lot of stuff because I'm a cheap prick, but also, you know, good for the environment, good for not giving money to fast fashion companies. Also, just like something I haven't had an issue with during the quarantine and stuff is, you know, there are people that are upset that certain clothing retailers aren't open, or things like that. Like, a lot of retail options aren't open, and haircut places and stuff like that. But I have plenty of clothes I can make. I mean, I've been wearing the same clothes. Like, there's plenty of shirts I have that are at least 10 years old. We're thankful it, like, I weigh more now than I ever have, but I'm still in a generally similar size range. And I've never been a, like, compulsive shopper. Like, I don't feel like I need stuff. I don't think I bought any new clothes last year. Any new clothes. I'm sure I thrifted some stuff. And, like, the goal of this whole year is to not buy new clothes, and I don't even think about the fact that that's a challenge I set for myself because it comes up so infrequently. So I haven't had a hard time with that aspect of the quarantine. Like, if I want a new skirt to wear out on a walk or for a live stream or something, I can just make it. And if I want my hair to be a fun color, I'm just gonna dye it. It doesn't look like it's professionally done, but I even, like, cut the top of my hair, which I had trimmed some of the ends, but I'd never given a proper cut, and it didn't turn out too bad. I like my hair more than I did before I cut it, so of course it's up right now, but I can do, like, fun twisty stuff with it now, and it was, like, hitting too far down my neck back here, and I just always had it back. And I know I have it back today. I also just washed it, so it's too flat to like do anything with, but you've probably seen that I've curled it more because I like it more when it's shorter. And you know, I touch my hair more in the front, so there's more breakage there, so it tends to get longer in the back, and the way it just falls, it tends to get longer in the back. So I did have to, yeah, just like even that out, and I think it looks better now. Again, it's up, so no one knows. But I also shaved the sides and back, so those kinds of things that people are protesting the state houses with signs saying I need a haircut, like that, no. No, you don't. Yeah, the friends I was mentioning earlier, Grant from Crafting with Cocktails and Sama from Samawitch. I mean, she is Samawitch, but her channel name is also Samawitch. It's like me. I'm Joe of Holy Crap, It's Joe. I feel like people in public... I've never been like recognized out in the world except once. I was at a wedding, and it's because the friends that were getting married like showed their other friend one of my videos. But they were sitting at the same table as us at the reception, and they were like, "Are you Holy Crap, It's Joe?" I was like, "Oh, that has happened one other time," but similarly, it's because like a friend. It's like they were a friend of a friend, so it wasn't so absurd. They didn't just like organically find me online. Anyway, you guys understand how, what's the word? Internet handles work. I found Grant and Sama from looking up, like crafting videos and stuff. I think Sama had found me first, but I didn't even realize she was subscribed to me. I think she had commented on stuff before. And then when I found her channel, I was like, oh my God, you're super rad. And she's like, oh yeah, I've been following you for a while. And I was just like, oh, this is amazing. And we had similar sized channels, like just a couple subscribers. So there wasn't that intimidation there. We're like, if any of you have YouTube channels and you're like nervous to mention them, please feel free to comment in the videos. Not in a spammy way, like, but if you post stuff. I don't get as many notifications when I get new subscribers and stuff, and I make a point to not look at the numbers. Not that they vary that much, but just to save every scrap of mental health that I can. I try not to do that to myself, but I used to, like, if someone subscribed, I would go and like check out their channel every time. But I would also get an email notification every time I got a new subscriber, and it was like once every couple weeks for a while. I would get a new subscriber. I'd be like, who is this person that seems interested enough in my stuff? And I found a handful of new people to follow because of that. Where, yeah, if you do videos, especially if they're like in the same vein as what I do, like I love watching other people's stuff. So, yeah, don't be afraid to mention it. There are plenty of channels that I follow that are much, much, much bigger than mine that I would feel very spammy mentioning it. I mentioned it very casually in a Threadbanger video a few years ago, and now they support me on Patreon. So, like, you can't miss the shots you don't take, right? Yeah, there were people like disgusted with themselves for buying ramen at the store and like loudly proclaiming it at the grocery store recently. And I was just like, I didn't say anything because I am constantly on the verge of a meltdown anytime I'm in a grocery store right now. This last time wasn't too bad, but this happened a few times ago, and like I had to pull over to stress cry a few times. It was fine. Everything's fine. Everyone's in the same boat. but it's overwhelming. Like I said, it was a lot better this past round, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm just adjusting better. I also had my brother and me podcast on, so like just having something else happening that was something that felt fun and normal and something that I enjoy. It felt like more of a treat. And then I also wasn't hearing other people like being catty with each other. Anyways, someone was talking shit about ramen, and like, I can't believe I'm at a place in my life where I have to be buying this just to like stock up their cupboards. It sounded like they weren't ever gonna intentionally eat it. They were just like, it lasts a long time. Where, you know, sometimes that's all you can afford, and it's not the worst thing in the world. I eat it once in a while. And, yeah, I'm not calling it a health food, but like, you can also use it as a base for other stuff. Like, you can put an egg in it and mix a bunch of other vegetables and stuff into it and make it like a full noodle bowl. So yeah, I hate when people talk shit as if they're like above buying the like cheap food. Yeah, I find myself looking for like leather jackets to cut up. Yeah, I definitely do that. I like bags. I haven't done much in the way of leather working, but oh, that's funny about the poodle. That's great. You know what's weird is I used to work at dog kennels for like years, and one of the many tasks that I did was we called it a BNE, not breaking and entering, BNE, bath, nails, and ears. And we would, I mean, I can clean Bert's ears fine, but we do nails, and I got like pretty good at it. And also part of that process was expressing their anal glands, which is always not a fun time for anybody, but Bert has issues with his, so he has to get it done every so often. We give him Pumpkin, and like, I take him out whenever he starts scooting, because sometimes it's just because he has to go. And it definitely seems better, like he can go longer in between butt squeezes, but I can't do it. I like lost the mojo for it. I bet if I practice cutting nails, something about it being my own dog, I can't do it. It's weird. So yeah, I take him to the vet to go do that. But because of quarantine and stuff, I've been putting it off, where he hasn't seemed too uncomfortable, but like his nails are insane. And again, we give him Pumpkin in his food, so his butt's not too bad, but I know it's starting to bother him. But I didn't want to bring him in just for that kind of appointment, because it's not urgent, it's not emergency, but he is due for his rabies, and like that can't lapse. Where some other things I think you can let sit for a while, but like, you need the rabies for him to live here. I think that's a state thing. If he's registered to the town and everything, like, he has to have a rabies shot. So that expires on the 7th. So I'm bringing him in Wednesday to get his rabies, and while he's there, he's getting his distemper, and his nails and his butt done. So I don't feel guilty like bringing him to the vet, because he does have something that is necessary. And if he was showing more discomfort about his butt, I would have brought him in by now, or like tried again. I try every once in a while when I give him a bath, and I just can't do it, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I never had my own dog then, so. Oh, hi, Jenny! Yeah, happy Hedwig anniversary! I can't believe it's been 5 years. So 5 years ago today, my sister and I got to see Darren Criss as Hedwig, and Hedwig and the Angry Inch on, I think it was technically off Broadway, right? Yeah, I am drinking the broth from my like fancy ramen. I think it's like 75 cents a bowl for this. It's also just, it's more brothy and like different flavor. I definitely just got a bunch of it all over myself. So good. And there's just like veggies and stuff in it. It's also like the rice noodles. They're so good. Yeah, I did like a full stock up. I mean, not like multiple grocery carts worth, but I have been making a point, like planning out my list. I spend at least like, oh, hold on. Bert's getting hot again, but he's not getting out of the sun. I'll let him say hi before I put him in the shade again. Oh, he's so cute. Yeah, we'll go in a little while, bud. Well, let's plop you in the shade. You have kicked dirt everywhere. Let's plop it back down. Okay. Yeah, I spend a lot of time putting my grocery list together. The meal planning is, like, during regular times, the meal planning is the most annoying part for me, because, like, I don't know. I don't know what to make. And yeah, I don't want to, like, if it was just me, I'd probably honestly just eat mac and cheese every night because it goes together really fast. Or I'd just like always have a Domino's pizza in the fridge and just eat it cold out of the box because I'm a monster person. And he decided there's more neighbors walking by, and Bert has decided to not yell at them, even though they just started to walk up the driveway to sneeze and then walked back away. Okay, that was weird. They're far enough away they can't hear me, nor will I get those cooties. Although it's real windy, who knows? I don't know what I was saying. I want to talk about Hedwig more. It was the most fun time. It's the only time I've seen... No, Hedwig was on Broadway. It was Puffs. I saw Puffs with Grant in New York, and that was off Broadway. I think it depends on the size of the theater, whether it's technically a Broadway show, where like there's not just one street that is the Broadway shows. The theaters are in a general like vicinity, and then I think it's the capacity room that differentiates between like Broadway, off Broadway, and off Broadway. So weird. Yeah, that's the only Broadway show I've ever seen is Hedwig with Darren Criss, and it was so good. If you don't know what Hedwig and the Angry Inch is, they're the movie version with John Cameron Mitchell, and it's just the best music. It is a musical, but it's like a rock opera. I don't know if that's describing it better, where the character is a musician, so it's not like they just break randomly into song for no reason. That's not necessarily how the story moves along. It's certainly part of the storytelling, but it's not like transitioning from scene to scene or anything. I'm not an expert on this. I'm probably describing it very poorly and not doing it justice, but the songs are really, really good. I recommend even just listening to the music. And yeah, Darren Criss did it, Neil Patrick Harris did it, Michael C. Hall did it, Andrew Rannells, Taye Diggs was the last one. Yeah, really cool group did it. Lena Hall was Yitzhak, which is the partner of Hedwig. And her and Darren Criss did it in LA, I think. And they would like alternate who played Hedwig and who played Yitzhak. And she played Hedwig on nights Darren wasn't there. And then Sharon Conley came in to play Yitzhak under Lena Hall. And I'm bummed I never got to see her do it, because she won a Tony for her performance as Yitzhak as like best supporting performer. And her pipes, man. When we saw Hedwig, Rebecca Naomi Jones, who's been in everything lately, God, she's so good. She was Yitzhak, and I feel so like lucky we got to see her and Darren Criss together. And then yeah, the backing band, Tits of Clay. I still have a very big crush on Matt Duncan. He is the one with the teal hair, and is the bass player, because of course he is. But yeah, it was all the music was live on stage. Just what a great performance. And it's such a long show, and it's like it's just Darren Criss for a couple hours. Like, he's never not on stage, pretty much, right? Take me back. It's such a better time. 2015 is before like May 2015. Things weren't as terrible. I'm sure I'm just romanticizing it, because I know not everything was great, but like presidentially speaking, things were better. And personal life wise, some very, like, the worst thing that's ever happened to me hadn't started yet. And we got to see fucking Hedwig, and it was great. And we had a like fun sister weekend. Although, oh God, was it last year? Was last year Antony? My sister took me to New York to see Antony Porowski from Queer Eye. Yeah, last March. And that also felt like a once in a lifetime kind of trip. And that was super fun. I think we were there 2 nights. And yeah, we were really close to a car wash when we went to go see Hedwig. And a car wash, ladies and gentlemen, is when whoever's playing Hedwig stands on the arms of the theater seat of a audience member with a like lit up skirt on and literally hits you in the face with it. And we were like a row away from the person that got car washed. And now that is on both our bucket lists is to get car washed one day. I need to make a hat that's like the bottom half of Hedwig and just have it cascade down, like that Billy Porter hat that had the fringe, but have it be the light up skirt. And maybe have it hang down and have little like fish-netted legs and giant gold boots. There's gotta be some way to do this. Make a real avant-garde outfit. I love this idea. I love my own idea. I do have a bunch of projects I really, really want to do that are like more fantastical like that. As soon as this is done, I'm gonna go do a little sketch of this and put it on my cork board of ideas, because I don't see myself doing it anytime soon, but now that idea is in my head, it's gonna just like float around and take up space for the next 4 years. Yeah. Oh God. Oh, there is a new, there's like a Netflix limited series that Darren Criss is part of that came out yesterday. I see if Lego Boyfriend wants to watch it, or, I mean, I have no problem watching it myself. But he saw Darren Criss in, American Crime Story, the assassination of Gianni Versace. If you haven't seen it and you have a way to watch it, oh, it's so good. It's such good television. The first season of American Crime Story was the O.J. Simpson thing, and that was also very good. I understand there's multiple facets to stories like that where it's based on real people, and it's like a certain take on what went down, especially when not everyone is alive to like tell their part, and it's a dramatized version. There are artistic liberties happening, but I thought it was very phenomenal acting, and I didn't know who Andrew Cunanan was. I don't think I was quite old enough to like understand what was happening. Where the OJ thing, like, I remember seeing the white Bronco on TV type of thing. I was 4 or 5 maybe. What year did that happen? 95? So I was 6. I was born in 89. So whatever age someone born in 89 would have been, whatever year that happened. I was just old enough to remember. And that's all I remember of it. It's not like my parents watched the trial with me. I just remember like seeing footage of the car chase. And then, yeah, the Gianni Versace one. Like, I'm aware of the name Versace. I didn't know, like, that was a last name. It makes sense it's the last name. But I didn't know what Versace's first name was. Or that he was even dead. I had no understanding of any of that, or that he was big in Florida. Like, a lot of people knew he lived down there. Or like how he died, what he died from, any of that stuff. So it was cool to like learn about that again in a specifically told way. But it made me more interested in like, my mentality a lot of the time is anything that's like high fashion is like just overpriced bullshit where there is artistry to it. Sure, still everything is forever overpriced, but they're like, some of the outfits they put together, it's hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and there is like skill behind it. And yeah, the ideas that go into the outfits, it's worth looking at least. I don't need to go and, you know, sport the brand names by any means, but there's still an appreciation that I now have after watching that show of like, oh no, he was talented. He wasn't just like, I'm gonna put my name on it and make it expensive. Like, he was good at his job. Yeah, anyway, that's been Darren Criss Minute here. Hi, Alice. Yeah, that was a lot of time gushing over how much I love Darren Criss. But yeah, I'm excited to see the Hollywood thing on Netflix. We'll see how it is. I assume it's just like a single season one-off type of thing, is what it sounded like. Yeah, it's super nice out. I had more layers on, but I've just been sitting in the sun for an hour and a half. Yeah, it's been so gloomy and rainy and cold and snowy and rainy and more rain. And did I mention the rain? Because so much rain. So it's finally sunny out. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow. It's supposed to be... It was 60 degrees Fahrenheit when I came out at the start of this, and I know I've been sitting in the sun, but it's probably gotten a little warmer while I've been out here. But yeah, I am in such a better mood today than I have been all week. And I would say at least a percent of that is weather related. Plus, you know, not really checking the news this morning much, because I saw one thing and it was like, oh no, we stay off the phone for the day. I mean, other than, you know, live streaming. Oh, I'll have to check your messages after, Jenny. Sorry. I'm really bad at doing anything tech related. I tried to check something while I was live streaming once, and I think I accidentally like shut the whole thing down. So I saw that I got a text from you. I will check it afterwards. Is the upside to doing the streams like on my laptop and then I still have access to my phone, or if I was inside I could, well, I guess I can't check a text on my laptop. You get it. You understand how technology works certainly more than I do. Oh, since you just got here, Ellis, Bert is also hanging out. He keeps trying to eat dirt piles under my feet. So he's a very happy boy right now. And yeah, he is such a like sun bug, where he was getting a lot of sunny tummies at the beginning of this because he just, the second his feet hit the ground and it's bright enough out and the ground is dry and not covered in snow or like mud or anything, he's belly up and demanding tummy rubs because he's so sweet. Yeah. And he's got a nice little shady spot down here. Oh, there you go. But of course he's been digging up dirt, so now his blanket is just covered in mounds. But that's okay. He can get a bath later. Yeah, you're a good boy. Oh, that's good to know. I can message with other things. Yeah, that is helpful. Baby steps, though. That sounds like a lot for this old lady to take on. Yeah. What other like live stream stuff have y'all been watching? Because I caught part of, or I didn't catch part of it. I started rewatching part of the like Bon Appetit, the cooking channel. They did like a 2-hour variety show last night. And I have been watching so many of their cooking videos, and I'm starting to like really enjoy a lot of the personalities of the people on it. So yeah, they did like a variety show last night, so I was watching a little bit of that this morning. Thanks for popping in, Ellis. Enjoy your dinner. Yeah, I should also make like a proper lunch and not just eat instant noodles, but I'll probably wait till dinner as well. But yeah, hope the weather gets nice in England. Yeah, I've also been watching a lot of Instagram lives. There's some podcasts I listen to that have been doing like each of the hosts. A lot of them are like 2-host shows. So Unladylike is one. So one of the hosts will like be streaming on the Unladylike thing and then add the other host from their like personal page. So I've been enjoying those a lot. And it's nice because you can, if it's like a smaller podcast, you can kind of participate a little bit if they're not just hosting their regular show that they were going to record and it's more of a Q&A type thing. That's always fun. Especially that one, that was the first podcast I ever listened to, was when the women that host Unladylike, Kristen and Caroline. Actually, Caroline was replacing someone else. I think her name was Molly. But ages and ages and ages ago, when they were still part of How Stuff Works, there was a podcast called Stuff Mom Never Told You. It was the first podcast I ever got into. I want to look at like the dates of that because I wonder when I started listening to it. It was a long time ago. I think I was barely out of high school. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I want to look that up. I'm curious now how long I've been listening to them. At least the one host, and then yeah, like I said, Caroline came in a little bit later to replace Molly. But I liked Molly a lot, but I thought she was super smart. She had a very pleasant voice to listen to. But I want to hang with Caroline and Kristen. So yeah, I'm glad that even though they left the How Stuff Works network, they are still podcasting together, Caroline and Kristen. They're great. I love them so much. They're such badasses, and they make me want to be a badass. And I've just learned so much from them. And they're also just like super curious people, which I appreciate, because there are some YouTube shows I watch. I don't get too much into this with some podcasts, but definitely some YouTube shows that I watch where like people that know stuff, but they're like really shitty about knowing things. And like they have to be right about stuff. That is such a big pet peeve of mine. Like I have shame or embarrassment about acknowledging that I don't know something. I try to be pretty vocal about that when I'm doing videos, and why I don't want to take ownership over like someone calls me a sewing expert, I super am not. So yeah, I hope that comes across. And it also feels just more, I don't know what the word is. more accessible, I guess. Because if you're, it's like this annoyance is refreshed in my head because I was watching a cocktail making video and the host was just being like really snobby about it, and that irritates me to no end. And there's even a chef on Bon Appetit that is that way too, where he's like really judgy of certain people liking certain ingredients, and like you're a bad person for liking food cooked a certain way, where food especially is so personal, and so are cocktails. It's like people have their preferences though, and they're gonna like what they're gonna like. So if they don't do a thing in an exactly proper way, but they like that version more, like why not encourage them to do the thing they're gonna enjoy? That's how I feel about sewing. Why am I on this tangent? Oh, they're not, the unladylike hosts aren't, they're like open to new information, basically, is what I'm getting at. Oh, I never got into Wizards Unite. Somehow, that's like the Pokemon Go version of, or the Harry Potter version of the Pokemon Go game, right? Where I'm still playing Pokemon Go. Yeah, I got it when it first came out later in the summer. It was actually when I was in LA with Grant and Sama. So that must have been 2016. Yeah. So it has been almost 4 years since I've seen Sama in person. Oh no, that makes me sad. Oh, that's weird to think about. That's the only time we've met in real life. But we talk almost every day, so it doesn't feel like that. Anyways, also it was her birthday this week. Speaking of Harry Potter, she did a Harry Potter trivia game for her birthday, and it was the most fun. Yeah, I heard a lot of mixed things about Wizards Unite when it first started, and including the fact that like you couldn't play that and Pokemon Go at the same time, and I had just recently gotten back into playing Pokemon Go so I had it for like a month or two when it first came out, but I had very limited data at the time, and not a ton of room on my phone. Like I kept running out of space. So I deleted it, and I didn't have it for probably 2 years. And then last year, around Easter, I just remember because there were 1,000 Executes and Banneries, and it was all these new Pokemon I had never seen because I still hadn't even caught all the original 150. And like, that's the only Pokemon I was ever into as a kid, was the OG group. Maybe as far as Mew and Mewtwo, I think that was it. But so that's what, 151? Is Mewtwo 151? Nobody cares. Yeah, so I think, because I just gotten back into Pokemon Go, and there was that issue where it's possible that's resolved, and I just don't have other people around that play it, and I've put so much time into Pokemon Go now that I'm like, I know I don't have it in me to spend more time on another game. But it is Harry Potter themed, so like, had Pokemon Go not been there, I would have been all over it. Or had I not like gotten back into it, I would have been all over Wizards Unite. Because I fucking love Harry Potter, as shown by Grant and I winning Harry Potter trivia the other night. I've played Harry Potter trivia a handful of times. The only time I've done it at like an actual pub, I lost, and it was literally because of spelling errors, because that's how good the other teams were. And I wasn't upset. I was like, oh, but they know it better than I do, so they should win. I'm also a Hufflepuff, so I get competitive about some things, I'm sure. And there is a shitty side of me as far as this goes, where like I don't get mad if I don't win, but I do get mad if like the asshole wins. Where the game we were playing, I was excited we won. That was cool. A really great quote from my friend Sam is, I'm excited for whoever wins whatever game. It's just nice when that is also me. But like, he's pumped for whoever's winning the game, especially when there's like a comeback and someone like swoops in at the end and it's not who you expect, like it's like watching sports. Not that I really do that, but you know, the good games are where it's not just one person absolutely trouncing everyone else, because then that's less fun. I still don't mind if I'm losing very badly the entire time. It doesn't make me enjoy the thing less. Like, I'm real bad at Scrabble, and if someone is like hundreds of points ahead of me, I'm just impressed at how good they are at it, and it's still fun being like, damn, you found that word on the board. Yeah, like the fun of the game is still there. It's not a matter of me winning or losing it. But there was it's like, I'm glad we won the game, but I didn't care about winning so much as I just needed this other person not to win because he's being a kind of a piece of shit. So I would have been pumped for anybody else winning, but I would have been annoyed if he won. So yeah, I can be kind of a shithead playing things in that regard. Where I just want it to be someone nice, I guess. I don't want the sore sport, because he was also being a sore sport about not getting some of the questions right, and that made me even more mad. He was arguing with the birthday girl, and it was like, the fuck, man. I don't like playing with people like that. Anyway, so yeah, I was just glad I won. I almost tried harder once I realized we were close in points, because I just wanted to make sure he didn't win. What a horrible mentality, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was into Pokemon when I was, let's say, like 3rd to 5th grade. When the show was on, I enjoyed it. I had some cards, but I never played the card game. But it was still fun to collect them, and like, it wasn't my biggest thing because Powerpuff Girls, but I feel like that was just before Harry Potter, actually, because I think I got my first Potter book in 97, and like, I just had the first book, so there wasn't the fandom around it. Me and one of my cousins read it together. And it wasn't like all consuming as it got later, as I found more people that liked it and more books came out. And once the movie started, it was like full swing for me, and never really stopped. So, oh, now Bert is peeing on some grass. I'm just making sure he doesn't get the leash stuck under his leg. Oh, he's so cute. I love this dog. Thank God I had a dog before quarantine started. I feel like I envy all the other houses except Gryffindor. The parts of my personality that I like the least are the Gryffindoriest ones. Like that example I was just giving about not wanting the bad guy to win that game. So I had to be the hero and do it. That feels like a very Gryffindor move. But I also feel like it would have bummed the host of the game out if that person won their game. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I mean, Bert's a handful. He's a small dog, and he did just turn 12. But he acts like such a younger dog, and I'm thankful because I hope that means we have him for a long time. Where the last dachshund we had, the vet guessed he was probably around 12 when we adopted him, though they said he was only 8 at the shelter, but I don't blame them because he's an old dog that had been returned and was otherwise unadoptable, so I don't blame them for fudging the numbers. Plus he was a stray, so they had to guess, so them erring on the younger side just to get him a home. I'm not like, those motherfuckers, like, I don't fault them for that because they had to guess anyway. This guy has like full documentation of the day he was born. Oh, his little ears are flapping in the wind. Oh my god. Oh, that was a big gust. Can you guys hear how windy it is? You must be able to hear it. I just hope it's not making that noise. I'm hoping the shirt being around the phone, it's like a little hood that I've created to keep the sun off the phone so it doesn't get too hot, but also it is hopefully blocking some of the wind. But it is gusty as shit out here. Okay, good. Yeah, I know. So I have filmed outside before with my camera, and it's been really windy, and I like wasn't aware of it. And then all you hear is the wind noise, and like it almost hurts in your headphones. Yay! But yeah, so our last guy, they guess he was about 12 when we got him, and we only had him like 2, almost 3 years. And he was in kind of rough shape when we first got him. They didn't even charge us an adoption fee because they were like, please just give him a home. But then we got him in better shape and as good of health as he could have been with his pre-existing shit. And then, yeah, his last, like, he couldn't really walk his last couple months, and it was a tough, I mean, it's tough no matter how long you have the dog, but I feel like we just didn't have that much time with him. Which I guess is why, like, I get weirded out when people are like, it's so brave of you and so honorable of you to adopt a senior dog. Or it's like, they just like to sleep more. They're easier. But that is the heartbreaking part, is you have fewer good years with them. But yeah, Bert is in like fucking incredible condition. His teeth are kind of bad. They don't seem to bother him, but he has horrible breath. And like his anal glands get blocked up pretty regularly, but that's also a small dog thing that happens sometimes. But there's no like really big health issues. He's just kind of a smelly, gross animal. And yeah, he's in great shape. He was pretty overweight when we got him, but so was our last dachshund, and I seem to have a knack for getting wiener dogs into shape. I keep joking with my partner that when I retire, I'm just going to start a dachshund fat camp. But yeah, he's really alert. He loves to play. He can go up and down the stairs fine. Yeah, tons of energy, but also really likes to nap with us. But I can tell if it's been like too many days in a row of me being a real lazy couch potato with him. He'll want to, he's a little more rascally and is like, we need to go for multiple walks and get some playtime in. We're trying to make sure we toss a toy for a while, a couple times a day, but I'm better about that some days than others. I'm getting warm sitting out here, and I think I want to get back to the project, that gathered skirt, before some other stuff comes up later today. I don't think I'll finish today, but like if I was just sewing it, I could finish today, but walking through all the steps, and you know how I ramble, obviously. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Am I getting... No, I'm not red at all, so that's good. Again, I handle sun better than my sister does. Yeah, Bert seems to want to like take a lap around the yard, and then I think I'm gonna go in. So yeah, I'm gonna head out. Oh, he's gonna knock the table over. Oh no. Okay. All right. I think we're gonna go adventure. Yeah, little pup fat camp. That's the dream. Just build a little ranch, just for sad old dogs that have bad backs because of the weight they have put on. I mean, Bert's like a little chunky, but he's got that neck muffin top on top of his collar. Oh yeah, stumpy dogs only. Hi, sweet boy. You want to say bye to everyone? Yeah. Then we'll go in and work on a project. What do you think? Does that sound good? You probably need some water too, huh? Yeah. All right, well, we're gonna go. I hope everyone has a good rest of your weekend. The weather is supposed to be so nice here, so I hope some of you also get good weather if you're not in the Northeast. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. This has been super rad. I am in a much better headspace than I have been for many days this week, so I appreciate the company. I hope all of you have been able to calm your brains a little bit. But yeah, I'll see you back around these parts on Friday with another video, and probably live stream again next weekend. We'll see where we're at. Taking it day by day these days. But yeah, definitely video Friday. It's gonna be that fucking gathered skirt, I swear to God. All right, I will talk to you soon. Bye.